Could we see separate bills for the border, Ukraine, and Israel?
Well, good morning. Well, let's first address what President Biden was talking about there. First of all, he has all the authority to secure the border because he used it to open it up. President Trump was able to secure the border from peak to trough. It took him about 12 months using existing law. Now, there have been court challenges to some provisions. Republicans would have been happy to codify and clarify some of those court challenges to strengthen his authority. But the fact of the matter is President Biden wanted an open border, and that's exactly what he got. And unfortunately, it's very difficult to negotiate with an administration and Democrats in Congress that want an open border, that caused the problem, that are primarily negotiating for political cover. Now that people like Mayor Adams and the mayor of Chicago are complaining that the small percentage of the total of migrants they're getting are going to destroy their cities. So President Biden, all he ever wanted was more funding for more people to process and distribute more illegal immigrants, and then to fund migrant cities, which is just going to increase the draw for more illegal immigration. So, again, the Democrats aren't serious about this. It was an almost insurmountable hurdle that James Lankford and Republicans had in trying to negotiate a real border security bill with them.
Yeah, let me play a soundbite. James Lankford joined me yesterday. Take a listen to what he had to say about this bill. He was the chief Republican negotiator for this bill. Take a listen.
There are some folks in the House and in the Senate that are saying, hey, I don't want to do anything because if we fix the border now or if we make change in the border now, it hurts Trump in his election. So they're focused on the political issues rather than the national security issues. I get that. But if we sit and do nothing and allow millions of people to come in and allow a national security crisis that we've all called a national security crisis to just keep going, I think that's our problem.
Senator, was your colleague James Lankford, was he duped by Mitch McConnell here? Because there is a lot of reporting this morning that McConnell recommended GOP senators like yourself, behind closed doors, block this border bill on Wednesday. And now the Wall Street Journal is reporting that the number is 18 GOP senators that are a no vote on this bill.
Well, it is true that Leader McConnell recommended voting against cloture on this thing, which is somewhat jaw-dropping. It was his failed strategy to do secret negotiations on an issue that the public has every right to know how we're going to secure the border. I disagree with Senator Lankford. I appreciate the hard work he put into this. I understand the challenge he faced. But Republicans want to secure the border, and that's the problem. This bill does not do it. It's going to normalize thousands of people. It's going to codify things that we don't want codified. It's going to hamper a serious president in the future from actually securing the border. If this, securing the border authority expires in 3 years, or if it can only be instituted if you reach 4,000 people a day. So, again, there's so many problems with this thing. The funding of more agents. Why don't we secure the border so we don't have to fund so many agents? Why would we fund sanctuary cities as an additional draw for illegal migration? There are just so many problems with this bill. Again, but they're problems that were inserted by Democrats who don't want to secure the border, that are happy with an open border.
It could cost Joe Biden in the fall, 9 months from yesterday's election day. Let me ask you this. Let's say you don't pass 50% of what's probably a mediocre border bill right now. Is that better than 0% of no border bill if a Democrat wins in November?
Well, it is.
Because that could happen, Senator. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, somebody else could beat Donald Trump or Nikki Haley in November, and then Republicans have nothing.
Now, again, the public is going to be demanding a secure border. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Democrats. But again, you have to look at this bill and make sure it doesn't do more harm than good. And right now, as I read the bill, it's going to do more harm than good by taking away the discretion of a president, take away the authority that already exists in law. The Supreme Court ruled that Section 212F of the Immigration Nationality Act of 1964 exudes deference to the executive branch in terms of securing the border, stopping illegal immigration. So again, you don't want to diminish that authority. And this bill, I believe, diminishes that authority. So it's worse than passing nothing.
Okay, just 20 seconds. Where do we go from here? What happens next? Well, no funding for Ukraine, no funding for Israel.
What we should have always done is we should have been very upfront, very public in terms of this is the authority the president has. This is, if he needs it strengthened, we're happy to do it. This is how we need to secure the border. But, the secret negotiations were destined to fail because you're negotiating with the people. You're negotiating with the arsonists to try and put out their fire. It makes no sense whatsoever. This was destined to fail, and now it's failed.
Okay. Senator Ron Johnson, we appreciate you being with us this morning. Good to see you. Thank you.